Okay, so last time it was the last session for revising graphing topics and equations, how to graph linear equations, how to find midpoints, and work with real life graphs, how to interpret information from the graphs. Today we're going to start together with a new topic to remember, and this is it's interesting. I love it, and you already took it in grade 6. We did it, we practiced a lot on it on grade 7, and you will take it a lot in grade 8 and grade 9, which is about ratios and proportions. So here is my presentation. I'm just trying to maximize it. Well, there is it. Okay, so this is the presentation. We're going first today. Wait. We're gonna start today with simplifying ratios. So the main thing that we will talk about is how to simplify ratios that include some different units, or ratios without units, or sometimes ratios that have decimals, how to deal with them. And the first thing, we're going to just revise together. How do we write, since our lesson is simplifying ratios, so we're going to revise how to write fractions in simplest form, because ratios and fractions are actually the same. So 12 over 20, this is a fraction. If we need to simplify it, we can easily do the simplest form mentally, if we can figure out the common factors between 12 and 20. Or if you can't, or if you have hard numbers that you can't find their common factors, you can just list the factors of each number and find the greatest common factor, like this. If you want to find the factors of 12, these are all the factors of 12, the numbers that you multiply them to get 12, and the numbers that you multiply them to get 20. If you want to find the common factors, there is 1 as a common factor, 2 is a common factor, 4 is a common factor. So the greatest common factor between 12 and 20 is 4. We're going to use that 4 to divide the numerator by 4 and the denominator by 4. 12 by 4 is 3, 20 by 4 is 5. So the greatest common factor way helps you to find the number that you will divide your fraction by directly from the first time to get the simplest form. You can do the simplest form in many steps. So you can do 12 divided by 2, 6, 20 divided by 2, 10. But you have to make sure that 6 over 10 is not the simplest form. They still have other common factors that you should keep going and dividing. So this is how we used to find the simplest form of fractions in previous years. It's the same way for dealing with ratios to find the simplest form. And we're going to remember important steps of converting between units. There are some units related to mass, like kilograms and grams. You already know that in the 1 kilogram, we have 1,000 grams. And in the units of capacity, we change between liters and milliliters. We know capacity is something related to liquids. When we need to measure the capacity of water, we use liters and milliliters. For juice, for oil, anything that is liquid, we use capacities. And we already know in the 1 liter, we have 1,000 milliliters. You should memorize these things. You already know them. And from when you change from any big unit to the smaller one, we multiply. From small unit to larger, we divide. So from kilograms to grams, from liters to milliliters, we multiply by 1,000. From milliliters, the small one, to the larger one, liters or grams to kilograms, we divide by 1,000. Okay? And we already have the converting between measuring units. Here in the big books, here we have the units that we use for measuring lenses. The smaller units, we have millimeter, centimeter, decimeter, meter. There is decameter, hectometer, but those two units are not commonly used. We don't use them, so we don't need them. And the larger one is the kilometer. Every step of these means 10. So when you change from kilometer to hectometer, that multiplies by 10. Hectometer to decameter times 10. Decameter to meter times 10. But since we don't use these two, skip them. How many steps are skipped? There is, yani we're going from kilometer to meter. You jump 1, 2, 3 steps down. So 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1,000. So from kilometer to meter, you multiply by 1,000. From meter to decimeter times 10. Decimeter to centimeter times 10. Every step means times 10. For example, if you want to change the millimeter, okay, to meter, or let's say, yes, to meter. So how many steps we're going from millimeter to meter? We jump to centimeters first, that's a step, then decimeter, another step, then we reach the meter, third step. And since small to big, we divide by 3 steps means 3 zeros, which is 1,000. So to convert to larger units, move decimals to the left. Why to the left? Because larger to smaller, you multiply. So the point will be moved to the left. And to convert to smaller units, to convert to larger units, we divide. So the decimal point will be moved to the left. And when you change from big unit to smaller one, you multiply, so the point will be moved to the right. You know that, and we will take examples about it. The other units that you should know about are the timing units, hours and minutes, minutes and seconds. We know when we change hours to minutes, you multiply by 60 minutes, because in the 1 hour we have 60 minutes, and minutes to hours we divide by 60. There is dollars and cents. We know in the $1 we have 100 cents. So to change from dollars to cents, big to small, multiply by 100. And cents to dollars, you divide by 100. These are important, very, very important units that you should know. So in the ratios, we already know that ratio is actually like sharing. It's all about sharing and being fair. When we talk about ratio, we have to be fair in sharing quantities, sharing money, sharing food, according to the age, according to the effort that the person is doing. So what do we mean by ratio? It's a way of comparing two or more than two. Like here, we have red paints and blue paints. Ben, the painter, needs 6 liters of dark purple. He gets the dark purple by using 4 liters of red paint and 2 liters of blue paint. If we want to write the ratio of the number of red tens to the number of blue, look, we started talking about red. The ordering is very important in ratios. What you start read is you start first. So the red tens, how many red do you have? Red, 2, blue. You know that the dots of the ratios, we read them 2. So red are 4 and the blue 2. So this is the ratio. If you want to simplify it, imagine that this is a fraction. What is the common factor between 4 and 2? It's 2. So we can divide 4 by 2, which is 2, 2 by 2, which is 1. So the last step is the simplest form. This is how we simplify that ratio. Okay. Here we have another circle. Sarah has a number of white and black counters in a bag. Write the ratio of the number of black counters to the number of white counters. Who can tell me what's the ratio of black counters to the number of white counters? Yes, Lamar. Lamar Samer.
Hi, teacher.
Hi.
So it's gonna be 3 to 1, 2.
3 black, yes. And how many white circles?
It's 8.
8. Excellent.
And 8.
So,
8 white.
yes, so black to white is 3 to 9 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah, okay.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, so Lamar, it's 3 to 9. Can you tell me, Lamar, what is that in simplest form?
Okay, so it's gonna be 1 to 3.
1, 2. 1, 2, again.
3. 3, 3.
Lamar.
1 to 3. 1 to 3.
1 to 3, yes. We divide 3 by 3 and 9 by 3. So it's 1 to 3. Yes, excellent, Lamar. So this is how we do the simplest form. So look at this question here. We have a pastry recipe. The ratio of flour to butter is, yeah, who can tell me what's the ratio of the recipe needs 500 grams of flour, 250 grams butter. We mix water with it. So what is the ratio here? Lean عرعر. Lean.
Yes, teacher.
Yes,
Yes,
Lean.
teacher. 500 to 250.
Yes, flour to butter, yes, excellent. 500 to 250. Can you, Lean, simplify this?
Yes. Divided by 50.
Divide by?
By 50.
By 50, yes. If you divide by 50, what do you get?
5 to 10.
5 to 10. Is that the simplest?
No.
We can divide again. By
again.
what?
By 5.
Yes, excellent. So we get
1 to 2.
1 to 2. Excellent, Lean. Excellent. So she did the simplest form in 2 steps, but we can do it directly from 1 step by dividing by 250. So we will get directly 50 divided by 250 is 2, and 250 divided by 250 is 1. You switched it, I think, Lean, when you said it. So
Yeah.
it's 2 to 1.
To
It's
1.
very important to keep the ordering the same. Is it
Yes.
okay if we do what Lean did, dividing with many steps? Of course, that's totally correct. You can do it in the way you want. So as you see, you can simplify this ratio by dividing the numbers by the highest common factor, or you can divide it by 2 steps. See, this is exactly what Lean did. She divided by 10 first, and she get 50 to 25. Then she divided by 5 again, which is 10 to 5. She divided by 50 first, and you can divide again by 5. So you get the 2 to 1. So you can do the simplest form in 3 steps, in 2 steps, directly from the first step. When you simplify a ratio, you must make sure that all the quantities are having the same units. So when you have a ratio with 2 parts with different units, you can't go directly for simplifying. Like here, for example, we have 2 meters and 50 centimeters. This is how the question written, meters and centimeters. It's wrong to start simplifying. You either can change meters to centimeters or centimeters to meters. I prefer to go with changing the larger unit to the smaller one because dealing with multiplication is sometimes easier than division. So the larger one is meters. It's 2 meters. To change meters to centimeters, we multiply by 100. So 2 times 100 is 200 centimeters. We're going to write our new ratio. Instead of 2 meters, we write 200. And the 50 is already 50, so the both parts are now in centimeters. You can simplify it. You can cross the 1 common 0, by the way, and 20 to 5 will be left. And you divide by 4, or you can divide by 50 direct. So you get 4 to 1. Okay, so here let's fast. يلا discuss together this example. محمد حداد.
Yes, hi teacher.
Hi Muhammad. يلا محمد. The first one. How do you
Okay,
simplify 25 to 30?
Okay, 25 to 30.
Yeah.
There is we can divide them by 5.
Mm-hmm.
25 divided by 5 is 5, and 5 divided by 30 is 6.
30
And
divided
that
by
is
5.
in the simplest form, 5 to 6.
Yes, excellent, Muhammad. Thank you so much. Right, let's go to someone else. I'm trying to choose students who didn't answer in the previous days. Karam Tal.
Hi, teacher.
Hi. Yes, Karam, the second
simplify 48 to 32.
Yeah.
We'll divide it by 2.
Okay.
Which will be 24 to 16.
Excellent. If you divide by 2,
we
24.
will divide it by 4 another time. We will divide by 2 another time. Which will be
24 by
6.
4. 6.
Okay. 24. No, teacher, by 2.
Why? Say with 4. It's right.
Okay, with 4.
24 divided by 4 is 6. And 16 divided by 4
is 3.
16 divided by 4.
16, okay. 16.
What times 4 is 16?
What times 4? 4.
4. So 16 divided by 4 is 4. Okay, so
4.
in the end, you're left with 6 to 4. Is 6 to 4 the simplest?
No, we will simplify another time by 2.
Yeah.
Which will be 3 to 2.
Excellent. Yes. So see, Karam did it in 3 steps, but we can do it in one step. 48 and 32 are both multiples of 8. So if you divide by 8, this is 6 to 4. 6 to 4 is the one that Karam already reached. He divided it by 2 again. So it's 3 to 2, and that is the simplest form. Thank you, Karam.
You're welcome, teacher.
Let's go to Zaina Al-Jawhari. Yes, Zaina. Zaina, are you there?
Yes.
Yes, Zaina, yalla. Example 3, 75 cents and $1.25.
Okay. Cents. We'll change $1.25 to cents by multiplying by 100.
Excellent, because in the $1
so
there's
it will
100
be 125 cents.
Excellent. This is that. So this is we multiplied by 100.
5 cents.
Oops, طبعا the animations. This is it. Okay, Zena.
Now we can divide by 5. to get 15 and 25. Then 15 to 25, we're gonna divide it by 5 again.
Excellent.
To get 3 to 5.
Excellent, yes. So she divided by 15 she did the simplest
5.
form by 5 first, then by 5 again. And here we did it by 25 directly. So the simplest form is 3 to 5. But don't forget that you should change the units. Excellent, Zaina. Thank you. Type another question. Here we're not going to do all the questions. Let me go to question C. As you see in question C, in part C of question 1, we have 3 parts. It doesn't matter when you have 3 parts. You just look at the 3 numbers, 35 and 56 and 49. The 3 of them are multiples of 7. So we divide all of them by 7. 35 by 7 is 5, 56 by 7 is 8, and 49 by 7 is 7. So this is the simplest form, 5, 8, 7. Yalla, who can do question D? Question D. Yes, Mira Khmour.
Hi, teacher.
Hi.
So we will change the hours to minutes. So we're gonna multiply them by 60.
Yes.
So it's gonna be 120 minutes.
Excellent.
So the ratio will be 120 to 80.
Excellent. So this is the new ratio. We have now a ratio with 2 similar units. Okay, we need to simplify this ratio now.
So I'm gonna divide it by 10 first.
Okay.
So it's gonna be 12 to 8. Then we're gonna divide it by 4.
Yes, excellent.
So it's gonna be 3 to 2.
Yes, excellent, Mira. So see, you can cross the common zeros, which is dividing by 10, and then divide by 4, or you can directly divide by the highest common factor, which is 40. You get 3 to 2. That is the simplest form. Type question 2. Question 2, Muhammad Al-Umari.
Yes.
Yes, Muhammad.
Muhammad.
Who?
Muhammad.
Muhannad, okay, sorry. So Muhannad, question 2, it says that a recipe contains 0.3 kilograms of sugar and 49.5 grams of butter. So see, we have decimals here, okay? The first one, kilograms of sugar and grams of butter. Write this as a ratio of butter to sugar in its simplest form. Anyway, it's written butter 49.5 grams to sugar 0.3 kilograms. We need to simplify this ratio, Muhammad.
We will change 0.3 kilograms to 300 grams.
Excellent. We change the kilograms to grams. So we will get a new ratio. This is it. Type, Muhammad, when we have decimals, then we better get rid of it in the ratios. How can you get rid of that point?
Multiply by 10, multiply by 10.
Excellent, excellent, perfect, Muhammad. When you get rid of the point in one side, it's exactly like the fraction. Do you remember in the fraction, what we do up, we do down. What we do down, we do up. Same thing for the ratios. What you do to the left, you do to the right, and the opposite. So here, we get rid of the point by multiplying by 10. So we get a new ratio. This is 495. And in the other side, when you multiply by 10, it's 3,000. Now this is our ratio ready. No decimals, no different units. Now we just need to simplify it.
Divide by 5, divide by 5.
Yes, you can keep dividing by 5 many times until you reach the simplest form, or you can directly divide by 15. In the end, when you divide by 15, you get 33 grams and 200 grams. 33 and 200 are already and simplified. هلا if you divide by 5 as you said Muhannad, you will get a number. That number can be divisible again by 3, so you will get the same thing in the end, 33 to 200. Okay,
Yes.
thank you Muhannad. طيب these are same ideas, easy questions. Now here, oops. So part B, the answers are shown. We have seconds and minutes. To change minutes to seconds, we know in the 1 minute we have 60 seconds. So we multiply by 60. So we get 36 seconds and 60 seconds. Now 36 and 60, we can divide them by 12 because 12 is the highest common factor. So we get 3 to 5. Okay, quick. Who can do question C? Please, those who answered, lower your hands because I want to give chance for those who didn't. Habib?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Habib. Question C.
Okay.
You have 800 ml and 2.4 liters.
Yes.
Yeah.
2,400 milliliters.
Excellent. This is it. 2,400.
Divide by 200.
Yes, you can cross the 2 common zeros, by the way, the 2 here and the 2 here. So you will be left with 8 and 24. What's the common number between 8 and 24? You can divide by 4, or you can divide by what?
2.
Or there is a higher one.
8.
8, excellent. So it's like you divide by 800, which is 1, 2,
and 1 and 3.
Yes, 1 and 3. Okay, the time is over, guys. That's everything, by the way. You have just to change between units to get your ratios. Remember, when you have decimals, you better get rid of them. Okay, I'm just gonna show you one question like this one here. See, this is a decimal here and a decimal here. You multiply both of them by 10. So it will be 12 to 24. After changing the decimal to a whole number, you can simplify it by 12. This is 1 to 2. Okay? Thank you so much, guys. I think you have another class. You can leave, all of you, but if you have any question, if there is something you want to ask about, stay here. Jude, do you have something or no?
Yeah, teacher.
Yes, sir.
About the scale when you convert kilometers to meters to centimeters.
Yeah.
We don't have to use decameters and
No,
hectometers.
not at all. No.
Like you won't ask us about it.
No way.
No.
No, they're not used at all. Yani, even in the upper grades, yani, we don't use them.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yalla, see you guys. Tala, do you have something before you leave?
Teacher, we didn't talk about the decimeters in the first semester.
Because we don't use the
okay.
decimeters, but the decimeters and decameters and hectometers are not commonly used. So we don't use them. What we care about millimeter, centimeter, meter, and kilometer.
Okay.
Okay. Yalla, thank you so much, guys, for attending. See you next week. Bye.